When people think of sheep farming, they often picture open pastures, rustic barns, and farmers using age-old tools. But that image is evolving fast. Around the world, a quiet revolution is taking place in the livestock industry. One that's powered by automation, precision engineering, and intelligent systems. And at the center of this transformation is a humble yet powerful animal, the sheep. In today's video, we're diving deep into how smart technology is reshaping every aspect of sheep farming. From how wool is harvested and processed, to how milk is extracted, hooves are trimmed, and even how meat is prepared for global distribution. We're talking about robotic shearing systems, automated milking stations, insect management tech, AI-driven handling equipment, and high-efficiency slaughterhouses. Yes, it's the full journey, from pasture to product. This isn't just about doing things faster. It's about doing them better, improving animal welfare, boosting productivity, reducing manual labor, and meeting growing demand with greater sustainability. Whether you're in agriculture or just curious about where your clothes, food, and home materials come from, what's happening behind the scenes in modern sheep farming is nothing short of remarkable. So how did this ancient practice get so high-tech? What machines and methods are leading the charge? And more importantly, what does this mean for farmers, animals, and consumers? Stick with us, because we're about to unravel a story of innovation that will change the way you see the wool on your sweater, the cheese in your fridge, and the carpet under your feet. Welcome to the new era of livestock farming, where tradition meets technology like never before. Shearing season used to be one of the most demanding times on a sheep farm. It required a team of skilled workers, each physically maneuvering animals and hand-trimming fleece with careful strokes. It was time-consuming, labor-intensive, and stressful, for both the sheep and the humans. But walk into a modern shearing shed today, and you'll witness something entirely different, a synchronized dance of automation, precision, and quiet efficiency. In many farms, sheep now move through conveyor systems that gently transport them to designated shearing stations. Instead of handheld blades, robotic clippers glide over the body of the animal, guided by sensors that ensure the fleece is removed in a single, clean piece. The process takes mere minutes. Not only does this reduce the risk of accidental cuts, but it also minimizes the time sheep spend being handled, making the experience less stressful and much safer for the animal. For the farmer, it means faster throughput and better working conditions, with less physical strain and more focus on supervision and quality control. Once the fleece is removed, the wool journey has only just begun. The raw material moves to a grading table, where contaminants like dirt, hay, and burrs are removed. This stage is known as skirting, eliminating the coarse, unusable fibers around the edges. What remains is the fleece's hard, clean, soft fibers ready for refinement. From here, the wool is classified based on fineness, length, and strength. Advanced imaging tools now assist in this process, helping grade the fleece consistently and objectively. Next comes scouring, the industrial wash that purifies the wool. Traditionally, this involved harsh chemicals and high water usage. But today's mills are taking a greener approach. Many facilities now use biodegradable detergents and have built-in water recycling systems, dramatically reducing the environmental footprint of wool processing. The scouring phase removes lanolin, dirt, and grease, leaving behind clean, fluffy fiber. At this point, the wool is carded, fed through a series of rollers that align the fibers into a uniform web. If the goal is to create worsted yarns, those sleek, strong threads used in suiting and high-end garments, the fibers are combed further, removing short strands and ensuring a smooth, straight alignment. For softer, airier textures, like those found in knitwear or blankets, the wool is left in a woolen state, slightly more irregular but exceptionally warm. Now, the fibers are ready for spinning. Machines twist the aligned fibers into continuous yarn, adjusting the tightness of the twist to suit the final use. This is where the wool begins to take on its familiar textile structure. Before weaving or knitting, it may be dyed. And here, too, modern technology has stepped in. Eco-friendly dye baths allow for rich coloration without relying on toxic chemicals. And thanks to water-saving dyeing methods, even this traditionally polluting process is getting a cleaner reputation. What results is a high-performance, natural fiber that can be tailored for nearly any purpose. Fashion brands value wool for its breathability, warmth, and sustainability. Insulation manufacturers prize its natural resistance to mold and flame. And then there's upholstery, where wool adds durability and texture to interior design. But perhaps the most visually striking application is in carpeting. Companies like Cavalier have taken wool into a new dimension by combining tradition with cutting-edge tufting technology. In their production lines, cones of wool yarn are fed into machines with hundreds, sometimes thousands, of needles. These machines stitch the yarn into a flexible backing, creating looped or cut textures that form plush, luxurious surfaces. The carpets are then heat-set, dyed, and coated with natural latex before being precision-trimmed and packaged for export. All of this, the shearing, the scouring, the spinning, and the tufting, is happening with greater speed, less waste, and more focus on sustainability than ever before. And while wool might feel like an old-world material, the journey it now takes from farm to floor is anything but traditional. Not all sheep are raised just for wool or meat. In fact, dairy sheep are quietly becoming stars of a different niche, one that's growing fast in both popularity and value. While cow's milk still dominates global dairy, sheep's milk is carving out its own space, especially in the world of gourmet cheeses and artisanal yogurts. Products like Roquefort, Pecorino, and Manchego aren't just delicacies. They're entire industries supported by the rich, creamy milk only sheep can provide. What makes this sector even more exciting is its potential for smaller farms. Dairy sheep don't require massive pastures or industrial-scale infrastructure to be profitable. With the right technology, even modest operations can turn out high-quality dairy products, tapping into specialty markets that are willing to pay a premium. And this is where automation becomes a game-changer. Traditional hand milking, especially at scale, is time-consuming and inconsistent. Modern systems now use gentle suction-based technology to extract milk without causing stress or discomfort to the ewe. These machines are designed to mimic the natural rhythm of a lamb's nursing, making the process feel familiar and non-invasive. But the real breakthrough lies in the data. These automated systems come equipped with real-time monitoring tools that track everything from individual milk yield to signs of mastitis or irregularities in udder health. Each milking session becomes a health check-in. Without any extra effort, hygiene is also easier to control, with built-in cleaning cycles and sterile tubing, reducing the risk of contamination and ensuring the milk is collected in the best possible condition. For the animals, it means less handling and more consistency. Stress levels drop, which directly contributes to better lactation and stronger immunity. And for the farmers, the benefits are just as clear: fewer hours bent over in the barn, and more time analyzing actionable data. It's not just about efficiency. It's about making better decisions, faster. Now imagine bringing this system into rural communities or developing nations. Unlike large dairy cattle, sheep are more adaptable to rugged terrains and limited grazing areas. With portable, solar-powered milking stations and low-energy sensors, this model can thrive even off-grid. It allows regions with limited resources to participate in high-value agriculture, improving food security and local economies. This isn't about replacing the human role in farming. It's about empowering farmers with tools that reduce physical strain and elevate animal care. With automation, dairy sheep farming transforms from a niche specialty into a scalable, sustainable option for the future. Whether you're running a small hillside farm or building a regional dairy brand, the message is the same: with the right technology, sheep's milk can be both a livelihood and a luxury. In any livestock operation, healthy animals are the foundation of productivity. But when it comes to sheep, keeping them in top condition requires more than just food and shelter. It demands attention to details that are often invisible to the untrained eye. One of those details? Their hooves. Overgrown or infected hooves can quickly lead to lameness, pain, and even permanent disability. In the past, trimming hooves was a tedious, physically demanding process. Farmers had to manually restrain the animals, often in awkward positions, creating stress for both sides. Today, that's changing thanks to mobile horizontal cages, specialized equipment that gently secures the sheep in a lying-down position. Once in place, the farmer has full, easy access to the hooves without needing to wrestle or restrain. This setup not only improves trimming precision but also drastically reduces stress for the sheep. And because the process is quicker and safer, farmers can perform hoof care more regularly, preventing infections before they start. But hooves aren't the only health concern on a modern sheep farm. Parasites, insects, and mites are constant threats. They irritate the skin, damage the fleece, and open the door to infections that can affect an entire flock. In response, automated insect sprayers are now being integrated into flock handling systems. Instead of manually applying repellents or chemicals, these systems cover entire groups of sheep in a matter of seconds, ensuring even and consistent application. It's faster, more thorough, and reduces the chance of missing a vulnerable spot. The result? Healthier skin, cleaner wool, and fewer outbreaks of disease. That same principle, early, efficient intervention, is being applied across animal health through the use of smart monitoring systems. Inside some barns, you'll now find high-resolution cameras tracking animal movement and behavior. Algorithms detect signs of limping, lethargy, or abnormal feeding, well before the symptoms are obvious to a human observer. Some farms are also using wearable devices that collect temperature, activity levels, and even heart rate, providing constant feedback on each animal's condition. GPS trackers and RFID ear tags allow farmers to monitor individual sheep across large pastures. Lost animals can be quickly located, breeding patterns can be tracked, and treatment records can be stored digitally for each animal. It's not just about managing numbers. It's about recognizing that every sheep is a living individual with its own health profile. Of course, with all this technology, there's a growing conversation around ethics. Just because we can monitor animals more closely doesn't mean we should treat them like data points. That's why modern sheep operations are increasingly held to animal welfare standards set by international organizations. Humane treatment, minimal handling stress, and proper medical care are now benchmarks for certification, and many producers voluntarily exceed these requirements. In the end, better welfare isn't just the right thing to do. It's smart farming. Healthier animals live longer, grow better, and produce higher quality wool, milk, and meat, and thanks to a new generation of animal-first technology, keeping flocks comfortable and thriving has never been more achievable. One of the most time-consuming tasks in sheep farming has always been handling the animals. Whether it's sorting them for shearing, weighing them, checking for illness, or selecting the right individuals for breeding. In a traditional setup, all of this involves a lot of manual labor, a lot of guesswork, and a fair bit of stress for both the farmer and the flock. But on modern farms, that picture is being rewritten by machines like the TAP Parai Race WE HD3. This system looks like a sleek, narrow corridor with electronic gates and sensors positioned along the path. As each sheep walks through, it's weighed automatically. Built-in scanners identify the animal by RFID tag, and depending on preset instructions, maybe it's time for shearing, or the ewe is due for a vet check, the system redirects the sheep into different holding pens. There's no shouting, no herding dogs, no manhandling. It's quiet, fast, and incredibly precise. But the real power of this system lies in the data. Every time a sheep moves through, its weight, behavior, and health status are recorded and uploaded into a centralized flock management system. This isn't just record keeping. It's the backbone of data-driven farming. With AI-powered tools, the system can identify patterns across the entire flock. It can forecast which animals are likely to enter heat cycles soon, which ones are underperforming in growth, or even predict potential disease outbreaks before symptoms become visible. This kind of decision-making, backed by constant, real-time feedback, is transformative, especially for large-scale farms managing hundreds or thousands of animals. It removes the guesswork, cuts down on unnecessary treatments, and ensures that resources are used where they're needed most. Labor costs drop, efficiency rises, and the welfare of the entire flock improves. Interestingly, this isn't something limited to mega operations. Smaller farms are beginning to tap into these benefits through cooperative models. Sharing access to sorting systems, data platforms, or mobile versions of automated gates. A group of neighboring farms might jointly invest in a robotic handling trailer that rotates between properties, making advanced tech more accessible without the massive price tag. And this is only the beginning. The next frontier is the fully autonomous barn, where sheep are monitored, sorted, and even fed with little to no human intervention. Prototype systems already exist that combine facial recognition, automated feeders, and climate control, adjusting lighting and ventilation based on animal comfort. Drones are being tested for remote flock inspection in open pasture systems. It's not science fiction. It's the logical next step in farming where precision and care meet innovation. In this evolving landscape, robots aren't replacing farmers. They're giving them tools to farm smarter, not harder. And in a world where labor shortages and sustainability pressures are only growing, that shift might just be essential. For all the technological progress in farming, the final stage of the production chain, meat processing, is often the most sensitive. It's where ethics and efficiency must walk hand in hand. In today's modern slaughter facilities, that balance is being carefully managed through strict hygiene protocols, humane treatment practices, and a high level of automation. From the moment the lambs arrive, everything is designed to reduce stress. The holding pens are quiet and shaded. Movement through the facility is controlled by soft barriers and curved pathways that encourage natural walking behavior. At scale, some plants are capable of processing thousands of animals per day. But the approach is never rushed. Precision matters more than speed. The process begins with stunning, typically done through electrical or pneumatic systems designed to render the animal unconscious instantly and painlessly. It's a non-negotiable step in ensuring humane treatment. Once stunned, the lamb is lifted and bled quickly by severing key blood vessels. A method that aligns with both welfare standards and religious slaughter requirements in many regions. As the carcass moves down the line, robotic arms or trained technicians remove the fleece, the head, and the hooves with mechanical precision. This not only increases speed but also helps maintain consistent hygiene by limiting direct contact. The fleece is collected separately, often repurposed for the wool industry, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Inside the carcass, internal organs are removed and sorted. Edible parts, like the liver, heart, and kidneys, are cleaned and saved for human consumption, while non-edible materials are directed to byproduct processing lines. These can be turned into high-protein animal feeds or ingredients used in pharmaceuticals, soaps, and other industrial goods. Once the carcass is cleaned, it enters a rapid chilling chamber. Here, powerful air systems lower the temperature quickly, preventing bacterial growth and preserving meat quality. This stage is critical for food safety, and no product moves forward without passing multiple inspection points. Government-certified meat inspectors check for defects, contamination, or signs of disease, rejecting anything that doesn't meet strict standards. After chilling, the carcasses are divided into primal cuts: shoulders, loins, legs, and racks. Depending on market needs, these cuts may be trimmed further by skilled butchers or robotic slicers. The meat is then vacuum sealed to maintain freshness and shelf life. Labeling machines apply detailed packaging information, including origin, weight, expiry date, and tracking codes. Every step is traceable, from farm to fork. Each animal's journey is logged and stored in digital systems, making it easy to verify where the meat came from, how it was handled, and whether it meets export or local safety requirements. For consumers, this kind of transparency builds trust. For producers, it opens the door to high-value markets around the world, where ethics, safety, and consistency are not just nice to have, but essential. What we've seen throughout this journey isn't the disappearance of traditional farming. It's its evolution. Technology isn't replacing the wisdom that's been passed down through generations. It's building on it, enhancing it, making it more precise, more humane, and more sustainable. Across the board, the benefits are clear. For farmers, it means higher productivity and better tools to manage both time and resources. For animals, it translates into less stress, better health, and more attentive care. And for the planet, these innovations point toward a future where agriculture leaves a smaller footprint, using fewer chemicals, recycling more water, and reducing waste at every step. What's remarkable is that these changes aren't happening in isolated labs or billion-dollar mega-farms. They're spreading, piece by piece, through communities, cooperatives, and family-run operations. This is a model that supports food security, not just by increasing supply, but by preserving quality and ensuring that every step in the production chain is smarter and more accountable. We're entering an era where sheep farming is no longer just about output. It's about responsibility. Responsibility to the animals, to the land, and to the consumers who expect more from the food and fiber they rely on every day. So now it's your turn to think about what this all means. Which part of this transformation surprised you the most? Was it the robotic shearing? The data-driven flock management? Or the idea of fully autonomous barns on the horizon? And here's the bigger question. Would you support more automation in agriculture if it meant better animal welfare, cleaner production, and stronger global food systems? Let us know in the comments. Your perspective matters, because the future of farming isn't just being built in the fields. It's being shaped by the conversations we have today.